The top shelf in a cupboard contains 3 cans of pumpkin soup and 2 cans of chicken soup. The bottom shelf contains 4 cans of pumpkin soup and 1 can of chicken soup. Lucas is twice as likely to take a can from the bottom shelf as he is from the top shelf. Suppose Lucas takes 1 can of soup without looking at the label. Find the probability that it fits these categories. So I got a bunch of different options, and I think for me the easiest way to define my outcomes is going to be with a tree diagram. So I'm going to start with T for top shelf, B for bottom shelf, because that's where he's going to choose from. If he takes from the top shelf, the choices are chicken or pumpkin, and if he takes from the bottom shelf, the choices again are chicken or pumpkin. Now I'm going to put the probabilities on those tree limbs, branches, so that I can figure out combined probabilities. They told me that Lucas is twice as likely to take a can from the bottom shelf as he is from the top shelf. So I'm going to make that probability 2/3, and then that means the top shelf is 1/3. In the top shelf, there are 2 cans of chicken soup out of 5, so that's 2 out of 5 for chicken and 3 out of 5 for pumpkin if we go on the top shelf. On the bottom shelf, there's 1 can of chicken soup out of 5, so 1 out of 5, and 4 out of 5 for pumpkin. So now I have all of my probabilities labeled on my tree diagram, and I can start answering the questions. So for A, I want to find the probability that Lucas chooses chicken. There are 2 different ways that you could end up with chicken. I could take this top branch and end up with chicken, or I could take the bottom branch and end up with chicken. So in order to find the probability, I need to multiply along the branches and then add all of the outcomes that I'm interested in. So I have on my top branch 1/3 times 2/5, which equals 2/15. And on the bottom choice, I have 2/3 times 1/5, which is also 2/15. So that means that the probability of choosing just chicken is 4 out of 15 because I add those 2 probabilities. So that's the answer to A. All right, now let's look at B. What is the probability that soup was taken from the top shelf given that it's chicken? So let's translate this into our probability notation. It's going to be a conditional because it has that word given in it. So probability that it came from the top shelf given that it was chicken. So that means I need the probability of top shelf and chicken, all divided by the probability of getting chicken. So it's pretty convenient that we answered question A already, because our universe is going to be all of the different ways that you could just get chicken, which we already figured out was 4/15. So the bottom of our denominator is 4 out of 15. And the top of our denominator is going to be this top branch where it is top shelf and chicken. So that is 2 out of 15. We can't leave our fraction like that because we're better math students than that. So we are going to we're going to change it to multiplication, and then we're going to flip our denominator. Conveniently, the 15s are going to cancel out, and I just get left with 1/2. So the probability of choosing chicken choosing from the top shelf given that I had chicken is 1/2.